Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Kelsey and Stephanie, for joining. Stephanie, let's go ahead and start with you. What question did you have?
Well, for the assignment 1A, I'm having trouble with the the s- the system. It's not giving me the detail of the code. Like from what you put on the video,
Yes.
I was going with you on my system, and it doesn't give me the same detail as what it's showing you on your video.
Okay. So when you click on the code, nothing's coming up.
Well, it gives me it gives me the codes, but
Mhm.
it doesn't give me the detail like if I need to add a code or
Okay.
um, stuff
Let
like
me
that.
let me share my screen with you guys. And I'll pull it up. One of the things you've got to do is once you find the code, you've got to click on it. So Stephanie, can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to go to my code books. And looking at that first scenario, and it's going a little slow. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to type in type 1 diabetes mellitus. It is going slow, I guess, because I'm recording with skin ulcer. If I can type. Okay, so then I hit enter once I type it in. And it might take it a second to come up because it is going slow, and I think it's because I'm recording. Okay, so it's highlight the code E10.622, and then I click on that code, maybe. Here we go. And it should bring up what you would see in your coding book. So here it is. So you're not seeing that, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've clicked on the code itself.
Yes.
What internet browser are you using?
I'm using Chrome.
Okay, that's your problem. Try using Internet Explorer. It seems to work best with Internet Explorer for some reason.
Okay.
Okay, so try that. And then you can see the code comes up and it does tell you use an additional code to identify the skin ulcer. Also, you notice these little icons in here. And if you look at your graph, some of these codes will give you additional tips. So it never hurts to click on those little icons to get additional tips. So Stephanie, again, I think your issue is just you need to use Internet Explorer. And so we've
Okay.
got that first code, and I'm just going to close it and then go on and look for my second code. And that's all you need to do. Your codes won't save anywhere. Again, all you're submitting is you're typing up numbers 1 through 6 and the codes for each scenario. That's it. You're not submitting anything from this program.
Okay.
Okay. Does that help, Stephanie? I think, again, once you get an Internet Explorer, it should. Okay, Kelsey, your turn. What's going on? I'm going to quit sharing my screen just so we won't be recording. My recording won't be so slow. Um, Kelsey, do you have a question?
Um, my main question was why it wasn't saving, but you answered that question.
Okay, tell me why you thought you needed to save it. I want to make sure, I want to know why you thought you needed to save it.
I thought you had to type it in, and when it showed yellow, that was what you were supposed to submit that into Moodle instead of just typing the number and what the code was.
No, no, no. And if y'all will do me a favor, Kelsey, when you ask questions, if you'll just try to be as specific as possible in your question, because I think we could have eliminated a lot of that back and forth and us not getting anywhere, if we could be more specific in our questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Stephanie, did you have any other questions? Anything else you want to look at?
Yes, ma'am. On assignment 1B,
Okay.
I went to WebMD. I found some articles
Mhm.
and I did the summary. And when we do the scenarios, we look the code, or we look for the code into this the
Encoder.
yes.
If you would like, you can use the encoder again, and I've put some examples out there this morning. All I want, like, tell me what your article is. What is it on?
Um, my first one is on uh an eye ointment
Okay.
company is recalling and due to infections and stuff like that.
Okay. So your
And
scenario is what?
I put down um a 25-year-old patient arrives at the emergency room complaining of pain, blurred vision, and swelling of the left eye. The patient states that he's used an eye ointment around his left eye earlier that day. So,
Okay. Very good. That sounds awesome. So you're going to code the reason for the ER visits, and then you're going to code the drug interaction being the eye ointment. So what you're going to actually submit in Moodle is your summary of the article you found, your scenario that you just read to me, which was awesome, the codes on which you would code that scenario, and then make sure you've linked your article to it. And then the last step would be go to Coding Clinic and maybe look for any coding tips on coding eye infections. And the coding clinics are found, you have free access to them in 3M. So let me share my screen again. Oh, I don't know if I ever stopped sharing it. Sorry. Um, and we're going to look at 3M, maybe. Here we go. 3M I like a lot better than Quantum. I just don't have a good exercise for y'all to do for an assignment, but if you'll get in there and play around with it, you're going to love it. Especially with this next assignment you have, it's really lengthy, okay? So you'll want to play with 3M. And this is the first thing that pops up when you log into 3M. And unless what your coding says otherwise, I would just leave your gender at female because you can see you can change it, and age 40, just because I'm almost that age. And then over here, you can change the type of code you're looking for. So in Module 2, we're going to be coding ICD-10 codes. So you would just use Code Finder. In Module 3, we're going to code CPT codes. So you would use CPT Finder. Module 4, we're going to be coding HCPCS, which y'all don't have a HCPCS book, so you're going to have to use this. Anyway, so you just change this. Again, Code Finder is the easiest one to use if you're just wanting to look at some diagnoses real quick, and we'll hit continue. And then to add diagnoses, here you would start entering your data here. But under references is where you've got your coding clinic. So you can click into that. Um, and then you can perform a search. And coding clinics are like I want to say your coding Bibles or guidelines, and then your coding clinic is the next best thing. If there's ever any kind of questions you have about how to code something, uh, after you looked at the guidelines, next you should always go to coding clinic. And they've got search features, so you could just search there. For an art, I'm sure you'll find something related to eye or eye infection that you can uh, quote real quick. And just give me the
Okay.
link to it. So I hope that helps.
Yes, ma'am. That helps a lot.
Okay, that was a long answer to a quick question, but I just wanted you to all see how to get there and to see what a great resource this is. Um, and also in 3M, they've got references for, well, you've got medical dictionary, drug references, the anatomy plates, they show you pictures. The CPT assistant, that's for when you have questions over CPT codes. There's just all kinds of cool stuff in here. So please, utilize that. And again, to type in, you would just do like diabetes. I'm going to type in DM and you can see diabetes and it's just kind of you just kind of go through there with complications. We'll say type 1 with an ulcer, the heel, skin breakdown only, left, do not wish to code more, and then no procedures. And I mean, you'll get to your codes. Now,
Okay.
the one thing 3M does is it doesn't put the decimal points in there. Y'all need to make sure and do that. That's a big no-no, and I will mark you wrong if you don't put your decimal points in there. So just watch that. Okay. All right, Kelsey, back to you. Any more questions? Oops.
No, I think you pretty much answered all the ones I have.
Okay, great. Let's see. It looks like we had somebody else join. No, I'm crazy. We didn't. Okay. Stephanie, any more?
No, ma'am, you answered all mine.
Okay. Okay, great, guys. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all coming. Sorry, I was hoping this would be easy hundreds for y'all. I'm sorry y'all had issues with it. Um, Again, it was just supposed to be quick and easy for you guys to learn how to use those encoders. I think if you'll make yourself use them, you'll love them. It's just kind of getting to know them at first. I'll tell you, depending on where you work, if you work in a doctor's office or a small clinic, you have to know how to use the coding books, which you learned in the first 2 coding classes. But if you go code for a large facility, a hospital, you're going to have to know how to use these encoders. So it's a good idea to start practicing now. In fact, I know several students, their coding tests, they'll set you in front of the computer on their encoder to do a coding test for them. So make it a goal, to get comfortable using these. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank
Well, if
you.
there's not anything else, I will let y'all go. Thank y'all for taking some time with me this afternoon. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for
Uh,
helping.
no problem. Y'all have a great
Yes,
day.
thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.